If you start getting frightened of it, then you make it worse. Because you project onto it all kinds of bogies and threats which don't exist in it at all. Whenever you meet a ghost, don't run away. Because the ghost will capture the substance of your fear and materialize itself out of your own substance. And will kill you eventually. Because it will take over all your own vitality. So then, whenever confronted with a ghost, walk straight into it, and it will disappear. We've got to survive. You must survive.
Is gang stalking legal? There is a fairy tale that gang stalkers like to tell each other, which was invented by the same corrupt officials currently leading the torture of thousands of American citizens across the country. This twisted tale suggests that it is somehow legal to stalk, eavesdrop on, harass, and torture people simply because the CIA, NSA, or some other high-ranking intelligence, police, or military agency says it's okay, an obviously unilateral opinion that overreaches both the function and vested authority of these services. It is not up to police, military, intelligence agencies, or citizens to try, convict, and punish anyone. That is why we have courts and juries, which allow people to actually hear the charges against them, acquire legal counsel, and answer those charges. In fact, our legal system has been deliberately, and very carefully, designed to prevent just such unjustified assaults that comprise the complex crime known as organized stalking, aka gang stalking. Circumventing the American judicial system is a form of vigilantism, and is a direct violation of the 6th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution. Let's consider my own case. There is a very good reason that those involved in harassing me have been specifically told not to discuss the purpose behind their attacks, because the accusations against me are 100% false, and I would demolish their case instantaneously. I can guarantee this result, because it is a fact that I have committed no crime at all, as is true of most victims of organized stalking. You don't have to take my word for this. All you need do is allow reason to direct your thinking. Consider these facts. My wife and I have been continuously spied on by these people, in every conceivable way, since May of 2012. This has included bugging both of our phones with sophisticated spyware, hacking into our computers, breaking into our home and searching its contents on numerous occasions, listening in on our phone conversations, intercepting text messages and emails, monitoring us using hidden cameras and microphones, tagging our car with a GPS locator bug to track our every move, and following us everywhere we go. Yet somehow, remarkably, neither of us has ever been charged, or even questioned, regarding any crime. None whatsoever. I have not even been allowed to hear what those charges might be. This must mean that either these people are totally incompetent, or else I must be innocent. Ask yourself, in open honesty, which is more likely? The argument that gang stalking is legal usually includes one driving theme, which is that because the torture they are engaging in is no touch, meaning that victims are not physically assaulted, it is somehow, magically deemed to be legal. Once again, all we need do is call upon simple reason to guide us in evaluating this ridiculous assumption. When a person's bank account is drained by criminals in some scam, the victim is not touched, yet this does not mean that it is legal to do so. Likewise, the no-touch argument regarding the legality of gang stalking is absurd. In fact, gang stalking is a crime, and a very serious one at that. Let's cover some basics. 1. Harassment is illegal. If the intent of any activity is to harass a person, thus intentionally causing them harm, you are guilty of a crime. There are strong anti-harassment laws in all 50 states of the US. It doesn't really matter how the harassment is perpetrated. Some forms of harassment are simply harder to prove. Yet would you rob your neighbor just because you thought you could get away with it? You will have to answer this question for yourself. It is a moral one. Stalking is illegal. To follow, drive by a person's residence, or otherwise knowingly intercept a person in order to annoy, harass, intimidate or injure them in any way is a crime. 2. Trespassing is illegal. To enter another person's property for no legitimate or official purpose other than to annoy, intimidate, harass or injure them in any way is a crime. Felony eavesdropping and electronic wiretapping is a crime. In fact, these are federal crimes, which become even more serious when the information attained is used to harass, intimidate, follow, intercept, and generally engage in activities meant to traumatize someone, which is precisely how it is used in gang stalking. But wait, there's more. It is also illegal to knowingly receive information that has been attained by someone else through eavesdropping. Even if there happened to be a warrant in my case, that warrant is groundless and void because a. It was attained through falsified testimony and information, and b. It is not being used to investigate, but to harass and torture, in other words, to commit other crimes. 3. Engaging in false investigations and perjury is a crime. When any government agent submits a request for a warrant against a U.S. citizen, they'd better be really investigating them, supplying factual information, and using their authority only as is legal under judiciary guidelines. Otherwise they are abusing their power in a most serious way by perjuring themselves on official documents and or during court proceedings. 4. Breaking and entering is a crime. Our home has been entered on numerous occasions while we were not at home. This has been going on for years, and no warrant has ever been served to us. This is an egregious violation of the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution, one of the most important and treasured points of protection afforded U.S. citizens, which protects all of us from unreasonable searches, eavesdropping, and other privacy violations by the government. 5. Violating a person's freedom of speech is a crime. Those involved in harassing me have systematically attempted to prevent me from communicating my story. This interference has included intercepting and destroying copies of my complaint that were sent by certified mail through the United States Postal Service. 3 separate parcels were addressed to 3 separate journalists in different cities, and somehow all 3 disappeared before being delivered. These were mailed to the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, and an investigative reporter with CBS television. The people behind this harassment have also broken into the email accounts of numerous contacts of mine who I emailed copies of my account to, and deleted those documents in an attempt to prevent my story from being circulated. This is a clear violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, guaranteeing freedom of speech and freedom of the press. 5. Mail theft is a federal crime. See above. Libel is a crime. This harassment has included an active campaign to intentionally spread lies and disinformation about me in order to discredit me, as well as to recruit ordinary citizens in this harassment. 6. Torture and illegal human experimentation are crimes. 7. Finally, we come to the heart of the crime of organized stalking, torture and mind control experimentation, both of which are serious violations of international, federal, and state laws, as well as the Geneva Convention. While the CIA bills organized stalking as a community policing program, this is just a flimsy covering designed to attract participants. In reality, organized stalking is a sophisticated mind control torture program, in which random citizens are falsely accused of a crime so that warrants may be attained to tap their electronic devices, home, workplace, and cars. Their reputations are then slaughtered, and they are subsequently attacked in such a way as to make them appear mentally ill so that their claims will be easy to dismiss. Thousands of people around the world have reported being attacked in this manner, and the real purpose behind the program has been slowly unfolding over decades, to enable government intelligence and military to perfect techniques for controlling and shaping the human mind using brutal, yet brilliant, psychological methods that were first developed in Nazi Germany on imprisoned Jews. Organized stalking is no community policing program, it is a government experiment on how best to torture and control people. We are anonymous. Expect